All right, so here we have Bitcoin on the 1 hour. We're going to look at a few different time frames today because the 1 hour isn't giving us much besides for this green zone. I mean, this is on all the time frames. This was the green zone that we've been talking about for a while. We have a bigger green zone, but this was the more precise one. It looks like we're trying to get a bounce right now. We'll talk about that more a little later. The 1 hour, we are above that signal line. We have bounced up. We're deep in the oversold right now. I mean, we're down over 12% today. And that's after coming up from basically 22,500. And the MACD, we are below the signal line. Negative momentum is starting to decrease. Vol is high. As you see, your BBWP printed that dark red signal. So we are above, we are high right now on the BBWP. I would expect it to contract a bit. So, I mean, we could maybe bounce around in here a little bit or get this bounce and stay high for a while. Um, yeah, I do want to look at, I want to look at the long-term chart right now. So we're on the weekly right here, and we are bouncing off of the 100 at basically the 22,500 level. So that coincides with our green zone, which just so happens to coincide with it. I wasn't looking at this at the time that I made that green zone, but it does correlate with it. So our accumulation distribution indicator on the weekly, or no, we're going to check the monthly because that's the one that's important. So we did get that cross to the downside on the MACD before this move right here. We basically was riding it, got rejected from the 50, cracked down. This was all the way up at 48. You know, if you were paying attention to the videos lately, you could have been ready for this move. So right now we are bouncing off of the 100. Let's look at the monthly because we could go a bit lower. We'll go to shorter term time frames here in a second. So we got our 200 down here. No, never mind. That's the 100. We got our 50 right here. 21,500. Okay. So we could go a bit lower. We could even go below the 50. We went below the 50 a few times at the absolute lows. So like right here, we came down to 164, but we closed above 223. I mean, that's a serious move right there. So, I mean, all in all, we could come down, you know, we could come down to 18,000, to be honest. I mean, you know, a lot of liquidations would happen then. A lot of people aren't expecting us to go below 20K. I think we can. It's not a zero probability to go below 20K. So we're gonna find out. Let's go down to the shorter term time frames. We'll go to the 1 hour, then zoom out a bit to the 4 hour. So here on the 1 hour, oh, wrong chart. Let's go back to the monthly there. Go back to this chart here. So we are bouncing from that green zone, like I said. We're gonna go to the 4 hour. We already covered the 1 hour. Remember that 21 on the 1 hour is right at the bottom of that purple zone. So we could get that bounce to 25K. I would not be surprised if we got a bounce to 25K and that 21 on the 1 hour. For some reason, TradingView is pissing me off. Come on, TradingView. What the fuck? Sorry about the wait. Something's going on. There we go. Jeez. So looks like we are trying to print some sort of doji candle. We have 15 minutes left. If this candle is printed where it's at right now, and we do close above the top of this green region at basically 33 150 region, I would expect us to get a bounce. I do have an alert up at 25K. We are in the oversold, pretty deep in the oversold right now. We are below that signal line on the RSI. Below the signal line on the MACD. Negative momentum is increasing on the 4 hour. So and our volatility is high as the price action's moving down. I mean, our volatility's been raising since it rolled over. All your major moving averages have negative slopes. Even the 100 is trying to cross the 200 right now. So, I mean, bullish case isn't very good, to be honest. Bullish case is we could get a bounce to 25K. Best case scenario, I would think, is that we come up to the top of this purple region, 26,700. Bearish case, brutal. Coming down to 18. I would expect major bounce at 20K, maybe even 19. I'm going to raise this box up to 20K because I would expect a major bounce at a previous all-time high. Okay, so it's going to go really slow, so we're not going to do that right now. I would expect a major bounce at 20K. Oh, now it's going to do it. Really? And then it's going to...